home surveillance video from an apartment complex, and they have to keep this by law for several days, okay? And we're not seeing you over there. We're not seeing you there at all that day. Do you think that we're stupid and we're not going to do all this stuff? Right now, Katie may not be in very good shape. You understand what I'm saying? She may not be the way your family last remembers her. We need to find out from you where Kaylee is. This right now is this is going so far downhill, and this has become such a mess that we need to end it. It's very simple. We just need to end it.
I agree with you. I have no clue where she is.
Sure you do.
If I knew in any sense where she was, this wouldn't have happened at all.
Just off of the hot seat, a series of sheriffs dealing with the day Top Mom observed live coverage of the discovery of Kaylee's remains and all about this handwritten note Top Mom sends to one of the jailers, passing it along, asking for a private meeting with family, although they had 29 days in private under the same roof after she first bonded out of jail. To Leonard Padilla, bounty hunter, being deposed in this case, searched for little Kaylee. What do you make of the parents, the grandparents, going and dining at the Ritz-Carlton while the detectives are there trying to recover all of Kaylee's bones?
Look at the difference in the reaction from when we were up at the Little Econ River diving and her and George showed up throwing a fit versus them flying from Los Angeles to Orlando and then just going to the hotel without even going to the site. Look at the difference in their reaction.
Explain.
Well, the reaction was one of, okay, they found the body. Whereas they knew that the body wasn't up at the Little Econ. George says to me personally, what are you doing here? He didn't say that to the people at the...
You know what? I'm just a JD. I'm just a trial lawyer. I'm not a mind reader. So just tell me flat out what you're trying to say. Don't be cryptic. Don't be mysterious.
Okay, they knew the body was where the cops had found it. When they flew back, why bother going out there? They don't want to add to any more. It's there. The body's there. They found it. Okay, we got to go forward from here.
Mike Brooks?
But I have to agree with Leonard. It sure sounded like they knew it. And, you know, back to the question about Dominic Casey and Lee Anthony. You know, Nancy, if there was any call from Lee Anthony to Dominic Casey or Casey to Anthony, that will show up in cell phone records. So they've got to know right now whether or not that call was ever made.
And very quickly, back to Ellie Jostad, our chief editorial producer. Ellie, explain to me one more time, quickly, the scenario. They were in California, the grandparents, on that press junket, and what happened?
Right. They were in California to do a TV appearance, and also they were checking out a tip that Kaylee had been seen at a Mexican restaurant out there. They were notified that the remains had been found. They flew back to Orlando. They were picked up by the Orange County Sheriff's Department, taken behind a Bennigan's, where then they got into this limo and went to the Ritz.
Back to the lawyers, Eleanor Dixon, Peter Odom, Randy Zellen, the defense putting all of these witnesses on the hot seat under oath. It's only hurting the defense. Why, Eleanor?
Well, you know, they're just going on a big fishing expedition, Nancy, seeing what they can get, if they can use it at trial, so they can use some other dude did at defense. But, you know, the prosecution case is strong here.
Peter?
They've got to find out what it is that the state's going to be coming at them with. So I think what they're doing is smart. What's more curious, Nancy, is how about the witnesses that they're not deposing? Have they yet deposed a single forensic evidence expert? And isn't that some of the strongest evidence against her?
Well, the answer to that is no. Randy Zellen?
Florida's a fascinating state because you're actually allowed to take depositions. It really is unique. And it basically, the statute talks about who you can depose without permission, who you need permission for. They will get the opportunity to depose experts if, in fact, those experts are going to be on the witness list. But you know what, Nancy? I've been listening to you. You've turned me. I cannot believe watching the reactions of that defendant and her parents. That's what's going to get her convicted.
Well, let me just add a little footnote to you defense attorneys who say this is their only way to find out what the state witnesses are going to say. BS. They can call them on the phone, ask them questions. They can show up at work, even their home. And if the people will talk to them, which the sheriffs probably will, they don't have to depose them. So putting this, commemorating it into a deposition form, even if these witnesses don't show up at trial, you've got their testimony locked in now, I think is shooting themselves in the foot. But you know what? It's not on me to tell Baez how to try a case. You know, his last big trial was defending another person in the murder of a 2-year-old little girl, and that guy blames Baez for being in jail. Not that I believe that guy.